I'm Destin Harrison, and you're listening to the GigSalad Greenroom Interviews. Thousand Foot Krutch has been rocking out stadiums and cutting records since the mid-90s. Today, we're joined by their frontman Trevor McNevan, who... You know what? This doesn't feel right. Let's start again. That's more like it. In 2015, Thousand Foot Krutch released Oxygen Inhale, the first half of a two-part project which showcases the band's softer, more melodious side. This song is called Born Again, and it's from their most recent album, Exhale, which is the more explosive, energetic companion to Oxygen Inhale. Today we're joined by the band's frontman Trevor McNevan, who shared with us about his faith, the meaning behind the name Thousand Foot Krutch, and a story about a miraculous healing that he experienced not too long ago. But before we jump into that, take a quick listen to Trevor's voice in the studio. It's pretty cool.
I know what you're thinking, but I just can't think it. It came alive, now I'm overtaken. Thought I had it all till my world was shaking. I can't erase it, there's no mistaking. 'Cause I've been digging it high and low to find the world I know. But I can seem to find a thing that's stronger now than I've ever been. So won't you let me in? Feel like I'm born again.
So we are here with Trevor from Thousand Foot Krutch. Trevor, how are you doing?
I'm well, man. Thanks for having me, brother.
Anytime. Thanks for joining us. For those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about what Thousand Foot Krutch actually is? What are you guys about?
Yeah, man. I started this Thousand Foot Krutch at the end of high school when I was 17 in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. So we're a Canadian-based band, a bunch of Canucks. We are a rock band, first and foremost, but we kind of have always been a bit of a musical melting pot of just urban flavors and hip-hop and funk and different things, but always kind of rock at the base ingredient. And, man, we've been doing this just over 20 years. We're very blessed and privileged to do that. And we went independent about 2010 after being with EMI for 10 years. And that was awesome, but we really felt like that was the right thing for this band. So ever since then, we've been able to just walk this journey with our audience kind of hand in hand, so to speak, man. And it's been an incredible experience. And, you know, we love every second of getting to make music and getting to share it and just getting to hear those stories, man, and connect with people on a real life level.
And I'm going to add to that, too. You guys are quite possibly the best pump-up music ever. You guys have had tracks on NHL, NFL, WWE, NASCAR, X Games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. It's so funny, man. It's such a cool thing, the synergy between music and film or big, extreme sports events or whatever. It's been really exciting for us to be a part of it. It's just something that kind of happened organically through the years. Some people at ESPN back when we had a song called Rock Fist in like 2003, really just hopped on that song, and that opened up some doors in pro sports, and then PSN in Canada. And then we kind of started through the years, a lot of the teams started coming out to our music at, all sorts of different professional sports events, and that opened up some more doors. And so it's just kind of this cool relationship between this band and sports, man. And funny enough, I grew up in a very athletic family where my dad played semi-pro hockey, my younger brother played pro hockey, and then my other brother was on a soccer scholarship at school. And I was always I appreciate sports, but I was kind of the other kid. So it's cool after all these years to see just the synergy and the relationship between sports and music and how that's happened.
By the way, if you guys ever decide that you want to write like a Destin Harrison theme song or like a pump-up song for my life.
A life pump-up song. I like it.
That would be the best. Just like Destin's making coffee and Thousand Foot Krutch.
Insert here.
That would make everything so much better. Everything would be so cool after that.
Let's do it. We got to do something crazy.
You wrote a song for Mike Fischer, Carrie Underwood's husband, a goal song for him, didn't you?
Yeah, man. He's a longtime good buddy from my hometown, and he used to play for the Ottawa Senators before the Predators, and he'd asked if I would write him a fight song / goal song. So yeah, that was a blast, man. Just getting to kind of create something specifically for him whenever, those moments happen at their games. And it's cool because kind of through the years, the audience and the Ottawa Senators fans kind of got to know the music, and everybody's singing along. And So it was cool, man, for sure. We tried to do another one when he switched to Nashville, but Tim McGraw had that on lock with one of his songs. I guess they have like a 10-year contract or something crazy. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I want. If you get bored and you're just trying to think of a project, because I'm sure you guys have so much downtime, if you get bored and you're just trying to think of something to do, I'll send you like 10 facts about Destin Harrison and then make me a fight song.
Let's do it.
You're listening to the GigSalad Greenroom Interviews. At GigSalad.com, there are over 90,000 entertainers and event service providers that you can find and book for your next event. Maybe you're planning a party for St. Patrick's Day, or looking for entertainment for a corporate event, or planning a wedding reception. We have more than 580 different categories of entertainment and event services for you to search, so that we can help you create unforgettable moments. Book something awesome at GigSalad.com. So here's something I've always wondered. I've been listening to you guys since probably 6th grade. Like, I remember mowing my lawn to Rockfist whenever I was like doing my chores while I was growing up and everything.
Getting your mow on. Awesome.
No, I've always wondered, though, what does Thousand Foot Krutch mean?
To me, the name is always just kind of, it's been symbolism and kind of represented the support system that our faith is to us, man, just in our life. I mean, life is such a journey. It's one that we kind of, a daily refocus and just kind of getting recentered. And I know there's been a lot of times, a lot of obstacles in my life and a lot of stuff that we all go through that were maybe unexpected or not, just tough things and mountains that you need to get to the other side of. In my life, my faith, and as a band, our faith is just it's been our lifestyle. It's who we are. And
is this like an analogy, like God is the 1,000 foot crutch kind of thing?
Well, to me, not so much yes and no. Yes, in the sense that he has been that strength for us, and the Bible says that he is the strength in our weakness. And so that's I guess where the truth comes into that, and where the parallel is drawn, and in not in saying that he's a crutch or that we're trying to use him as a crutch. It's just that was kind of just symbolism for how big that's been in our life and the support system that a crutch represents.
Very cool. I like that. And you bring up an interesting point too. You guys have to strike a really difficult balance between being a rock group and a Christian band. Do you guys consider yourselves a Christian band, or more just a band of Christians?
The best way I could answer that question in full transparency is to just kind of say what I was saying there, man, about how our faith, to us, our faith is our lifestyle, and it's not a genre of music or like a folder that we walk in and out of, or a name tag. It's just that's our lifestyle, man. It's who we are, and so it's a big part of our lives. And if it's certainly not something we're ashamed of. If someone wants to call us a Christian band, but, we've always made music for everyone, and we're Christian guys making music.
I like that. Very cool. So what does that change, like when you guys are on the road touring and performing? What's the difference? What does it look like, you guys as a group of Christians making this music, going on these tours, playing these shows, versus if that faith was not a part of your lifestyle or your business or your music at all?
The music, like anything, I guess, in life, but in my experience, all I could say is, the music industry is a pretty crazy place, man. It's a crazy business, and it's a crazy world, and it's a beautiful thing, but there's just, like anything, there's a lot of distractions as well. And so, for us, I think it's on the road. It's important to us that we keep each other accountable. We all have amazing lives. They're a big part of what we do and a big part of our support system. And a couple of us have kids, and our family is very important to us. And so the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing, is for all intents and purposes just, is not by choice, not a part of our lives, man. And still very much a part of the culture of what we do, though, outside of that. And so it is it can be a fine line. We try not to have many gray areas, man, but, we're certainly not perfect, and we certainly don't have all the answers. And I think, I know that our hearts are to lead with love in any of those situations, and just love people for who they are and where they're at and what they believe. And, most of the time, people reciprocate that. And in music, people tend to respect you for your music first and then decide whether they care what you have to say other than that. And, so it's, with that being a part of what we do too, we're going to love people either way, whether we agree on something or not. And to me, that's not what it's about. I mean, we'd love to have those conversations anytime, but it's, we're going to come and be who we are either way, man, whether it's with Disturbed and Rob Zombie or whether it's with David Crowder and Britt Nicole, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. That's so cool you guys can diversify your audience like that.
I think it's, I think more than anything, we live in a time, man, where I think people will respect you for standing up for what you believe in, whether it's me or you or someone else. They don't have to agree with you, or they might have a stereotype in their head about what, thinking they already know who you are. And I think if we love and respect each other for who we are and treat people right, man, and the kind of actions speak louder than words sort of mentality, then, I think that you can kind of defy some of those odds and stereotypes and doing what you believe is right. And they can do the same and coexist and love each other either way,
So what's a stereotype that you guys have to fight a lot? What's something that you really want to break down? Something you wish people understood about you?
I think there's certain things through the years, like stylistically, because I love hip hop and because in the band's origin, we were blending a lot of hip hop and rock and that sort of thing. That was very honest to us, and there was Rage Against the Machine had an album out at that time, and you had the Chili Peppers and a few bands out there that were kind of mixing some of those elements. But Beastie Boys had been around for a record or two, but there wasn't like Limp Bizkits back then or much of that stuff, and so it was just very honest and kind of organic for us. And then through the years, that got a little bit stale in music, and we didn't want to just be another one of those bands, so to speak. So we kind of have always just tried to follow inspiration of what felt right musically to us. And then, in a lot of ways, whenever it feels honest, hip hop still makes its way back into our music, and it kind of took a few years to feel that way again in music. But sometimes the whole rap rock stereotype of when people hear those two elements together gets a little annoying for bands, who are just making music they love to make and aren't trying to be that, this or that. But other than that, through the years, maybe that once in a while you get, and then on a Christian level, just I think, unfortunately, like a lot of things in life, whenever there's people involved, we're going to screw it up sometimes. And as Christians and as a church, people, have a stereotype of what those elements are and what those people represent. And you can feel like you're working against that more than you're not. You're just trying to live your life and play music and love people. So there's not much we can do about it, but that's something, I guess, at the end of the day that you kind of, I don't look at the guy who I hired to paint my house as a Christian painter or not. You know what I mean? He's a painter. And so I haven't always understood why people wanted to draw such a dividing line on that. It's like, they're a Christian rock band. Again, it's not something we're ashamed of by any means, that's our heart and who we are either way. But as far as drawing a negative connotation to someone before you even hear what it sounds like or what we're doing or what that person is doing, if you even take the lens off of us, then I think that's unfair in any situation.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from. And I totally agree too. I mean, regardless of what your walk of life is, you guys make some darn good music. It's just good material.
Right on, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot.
I've heard you tell a story before about miraculous healing that you experienced. Can you tell me what happened there? Yeah. So I had some pretty major back issues, man. That kind of came out of nowhere. Some lower back, sort of like L4, L5 type situation, and my spine and lower back, and just it really kind of in an instant really just took me out right before, about a week before one of our tours. We had a headlining tour. This is a few years back now, 3 or 4 years ago, and man, I was like, fire station had to come to the house, carry me out in an ambulance, and it was bad, man. I couldn't even move. And so I came home from the hospital. I wanted to avoid surgery, so they had recommended physio and a few other things and sent me home a few days later, some pain meds or whatever.
So I went home and started doing physio, but I could barely kind of move, and we had only a week before the tour, and so I was, again, just to tell you the story, what actually happened, I was pretty frustrated that particular day. Obviously, I was praying and believing for a healing, and I wholeheartedly, because I see it all the time, I know and believe that God's the same today that he was 2,000 years ago in those stories you read. And so we, I was believing for a healing 100%, man, my wife and and I was actually pretty frustrated. This is about 2 days before we left for tour because I was still just messed up and there was no way it was going to happen. And we needed to make some hard decisions. So I said to my wife, like, hey, I'm just going to go with you. I needed to get out of the house because I'd just been laid out. And I'm just going to go and put the seat back in the car and just cruise with you wherever you go today just to get out of here. And I was pretty frustrated. And on the way home on that drive, there's no other way to put it, man. I was just, I received 100% healing, man, from the Lord. And it was one of those things where I felt like I could run 100 miles. And it happened instantly, and there was no question. There was no doubt in my mind. There was no, mind games. It was just like, whoa, boom, amen. I'm in. Let's go. So as fast as it happened one way, it happened the other way. We left a couple of days later for tour and had an awesome tour. And I believe when you have moments like that, that's certainly something I wanted to give thanks for, man, and certainly something I wasn't trying to take credit for. So as crazy as that sounds to a lot of people, I really felt like I needed to share that each night on that tour, and I did. And it was cool, man. We got into some really great conversations, and like I said, that's what happened.
So what did the doctors have to say about that when you went back, and did you have them look you over again after that happened, or were you just like, I'm good, I'm going?
No, I did, absolutely did. My wife comes from a medical background, so I went back in just for that simple fact of you want to use wisdom too. And so in the natural. So I went in and, I talked to my doctor again, and he was just like, well, he didn't, I don't think he really believed in God, but he was just like, you know what? I think that's awesome, man. I mean, you definitely have a higher power over you, bro, and you're good to go. I don't understand it, but I'm signing off on it. So, that's how he looked at it, and we both kind of had a good laugh, and just like, well, maybe there is a God. Like, well, thanks, man. I'm good to go.
That's incredible. So what do you do? What do you do when something like that happens? You're hospitalized, laid out, you can't do anything, instantly healed. What's the first thing you do?
Oh, man. I mean, it was at the point before tour where the only thing I could do if I was still going to go was just do laundry, pack my bags, and basically pack and get ready, get on the bus. So there wasn't even much other time. But for me, it was just like I was obviously praying and believing for that and expecting that to happen, doing my best to apply my faith to it, man. And so I was super excited and thankful and just tried my best to give him the glory for that and walk it out, man.
That's such a cool story. So as we wrap up here, do you have any advice for somebody who's trying to get into the entertainment industry, maybe somebody who's trying to do what you do? Any advice for how they can get there?
Man, I think if this is something that you feel drawn to and it's something you feel that fire burning in you to make music, then I think you need to make the decision up front if that's enough for you or not. Because if you get in it because you want to make money or because you want fame attached to it or because you want for any other reason, but the fire that's in you to make music and communicate with people the way music communicates to you, then, I can't really help you with that, man, because that's not what it's all about. I mean, you're going to be disappointed, I think. But if you want to make music that you believe in and that you believe other people are going to enjoy and you want to create change in that, then, man, it takes a lot of discipline. You got to apply yourself. You're going to have to sacrifice things. You're going to have to miss people's weddings and birthdays sometimes and everything that comes along with that, but you got to put your head down and move forward, man. And in this day and age, on top of trying to create good music, there's a million tools at your disposal, to be able to upload things in seconds and get them in front of people that when I was coming up, I used to have to mail tapes and stuff, man. So to me, this is like next level. You can just upload things, and that doesn't mean it's easy, and it certainly won't be easy, but it's an incredible thing and very fulfilling if that's what you feel called to do.
Very cool. Well, Trevor McNevan, thanks so much for joining us.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it, brother. Good to chat with you.
Thousand Foot Krutch is currently in the process of filming a live DVD album called Untraveled Roads that tells stories about different people's experiences with their music throughout the years. They haven't officially announced a release date yet, but be sure to check out thousandfootkrutch.com to keep up with them and all of their most recent releases. While you're there, take a second to check out their tour dates as well to see if they might be stopping somewhere close by for the Winter Jam Tour, which is going on right now and features a lot of talented people like Crowder, Andy Mineo, Colton Dixon, and lots of other cool artists. And as always, be sure to check out GigSalad.com to find out how we can help you book something awesome. For everyone here in the GigSalad Green Room, I'm Destin Harrison. Thanks for listening.